Welcome back to the FanTEAsy podcast, where two besties spill all the delicious tea on the books we read. I'm Callie, and my bestie is Montana.
We are excited to be back for part 2 of our last episode. If you didn't go watch part 1, rewind, go back and watch part 1. That's covering 33 through 35. We are finishing the book today with 36 through 39. If you have been following along with us in our deep dive in Fourth Wing, you know we've broken the book down into now 9 sections where we are diving into characters, world building, dragons, signets, and even fan theories. So please take note and prepare, actually for the final time this time, to enter Basgiath War College.
And now we are fully in the writer's quadrant, preparing for the last battle. This is a full deep dive and breakdown of Fourth Wing. If you have not read all of the books, please, as we said in the last episode, but truly mean it, go finish it and then come back, because this is like all the spoilers that will ruin the book for you. We will be discussing all of the Empyrean series, and even if we're just covering a few of the chapters per episode. In this episode, we are covering 36 through 39, and we definitely are going to talk about a lot of things, moving from Fourth Wing into Iron Flame and hopefully into Onyx Storm. So we are only human. Definitely going to say things. Please don't want to spoil it. Go finish the books and then come back and listen.
Honestly, this is going to be a heavy episode.
Yes.
But without wanting to spoil the journey, just please take note that we are adults. We will be talking about violent graphic details as to what's going to happen within these chapters, and we swear a lot. It's just who we are. We're not going to apologize for that. But this episode will have graphic content. We're rating it R. Also, if you have been following along with us or you just really like our content, please consider leaving us a review or subscribing to our channel and following us on our social media pages. We would greatly appreciate it and help the algorithm do its thing.
Do its thing. Okay, for real this time. Last time. Are you ready for it?
No, I'm not ready for it, actually.
I'm not either. We were like so prepared last time, and then it just kind of worked to split it into two with being such powerful last couple chapters that we broke it up, and now we really do have to rip our own hearts out, and I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. This is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt like hell.
Yep. Nope. What era are you in today?
I hadn't really thought about it. I guess I would be maybe a little reputation, but maybe a little folklore.
Oh, that's a combo.
I'm
sitting
vibes.
in oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
But I mean, folklore is just always so good.
I know.
They all are.
Right? Fine. You can't, there's not a bad era.
No. I'm sitting in Tortured Poets department because I feel like I hate it here was just kind of like my vibe earlier. So
and about to be again. I hate it here. And maybe I'm gonna go back to when we better.
The secret gardens within this book that made me happy.
Yeah. Prior to chapter 36.
It's fine. What is our chapter 36 summary?
Chapter 36 summary. The missive is in, and it's no longer a matter of winning war games, but of saving the hundreds of people in Ressin and surviving the venin. Xaden turns to his chosen squad and asks them who is in. Without a doubt, they all agree to stay and fight. They are riders after all, and this is exactly the thing they have been training for. However, the 4 venin on the horizon and even more wyvern, The match is going to be very tricky. This is literally a moment of life or death for all of them. Duh, duh, duh.
I'm
I'm
not
not
ready.
okay. I'm not okay. I like smiling, laughing, having a great time, right? No,
No.
inside my heart is weeping already because I did when I reread this chapter, obviously the infamous line, but the
Yeah.
everything in between, I forgot
Mm-hmm.
how intense this whole scene really was. Like,
I
I
was
haven't
so
read it in
stressed. I'm
over
like,
a year. Ah.
it's been like 8 months, 9 months since I last read it, but
Mhm.
I felt just as stressed this time as I did the first two times reading it.
Yeah. They're not.
Like, I'm emotionally
Mm.
unwell. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. I just the fact that they get this letter and the point of it is literally to test their loyalty. Like, hey, you can stay and defend these innocent people
Mhm.
and, probably die, or you
Probably,
can go
like, your
to the
chances are yeah. They're like, "And hopefully you
yeah,
die."
slim to none survival odds here.
Mhm.
But or they could go to their other outpost and actually participate in war games. And the fact that it is a 5-day mission means people aren't going to know, right away. Like there's 5 days of assuming war games is going on. So you're not even thinking like, oh, everyone's fine. It's just war games. They could
Mhm.
be dead for days. And then people just assume they died in war games. Like how
Mhm.
I'm I hate it here.
I hate it. Well, and just the premise of the high your okay, I mean, in college, and granted, it is a war college, but the fact that you're sending these, again, students to, okay, yeah, participate in war games and maybe die, or go here
Mhm.
and we're like hoping you die just based off of
Yeah.
the because it's all the marked children. So we're hoping you die. We're hoping this just kills off a few more of you, especially knowing Zayden is the oldest and about to graduate. They don't want to have to deal
Yeah.
with him. So they're like, here, go over here and it'll take care of itself, you know? It's
Yeah, they don't want to
uppy.
have to deal with him being so powerful and knowing the
Mhm.
truth because they know that he's a threat to what they have, the lie that they have perceived over everybody.
Oh, yeah. It's just really
I
icky
hate
behavior. And it just,
it is. It's you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We just ugh. So they're looking out, they're reading this missive, they're like, what the fuck is going on? And Liam, sweet baby Liam, using his signet of farsight, is out here and he's like, hey bitches, there's venin down there.
mhm.
Like Violet just had this bomb dropped on her that venin are real and now she's about to come face to face with them. Terrifying.
I think he actually says, if those are what I think they are, we're fucked.
He
Oh,
does say that
no.
too.
Like,
Oh, he even describes them creepy as shit. I'm like, yeah,
yep.
yeah,
Yeah, we're not. I don't know how you go from, in a matter of minutes, wrapping your head around, even though she's incredibly smart and she hung out with her dad all the time in the archives, so she knows, and like even reading the fables. But how do you go from thinking something is just a made up story to, hey, it's right down there and now we have to fight it, or we leave all
mm-hmm,
these people to die? You're wrapping your head around this in a matter of minutes to make the decision to stay and fight, and like you and she's going off of such minimal information of how to succeed and kill these things. They know very
Yeah.
little about them other
And
than
it's
the iron tip
interesting.
daggers.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, and it's something that I did really like, but as they're discussing like the beginning of what we need to do, what our next steps are, Bodhi is
Mhm.
out here like there are innocent people. We need to get down there and fight. We're not just gonna, let's see, should we stand by, or no, sorry, wow. So we should just stand here while civilians die. Like he is livid. He is ready to throw himself into battle. So
Yeah.
I mean, just we love him for that.
Hmm.
But what a fantastic mindset for someone in that position, because you can't really be second guessing when you're throwing yourself into a battle, especially against something so unknown.
That whole scene kind of gives you chills because
Mhm.
Zayden then puts it into perspective too of like this isn't just war games. Like this would be a real battle where yes, in war games like we've previously seen, oh, Jack Barlow, he's dead. Oh no, I'm devastated. But like it's not just winning a flag or an egg or bragging rights. Like
Yeah.
you're actually going to battle, and these are real people that have absolutely nothing to do with the war games. They're just innocent
Yeah.
bystanders and trying to,
Literal lives are on the line here.
and children. There's like hundreds of children in this town too. So like,
Mm-mm.
what?
I know.
Like the pressure of, I don't even know how many does it say is in their squad right now?
There's 10
There's
of them.
10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
There's
Like
9 or 10. I don't remember if they said 10
hundreds of
people or 10
people,
dragons, but yeah.
the hundreds of people in the lives of 10 college students. I
Hey,
mean,
and
they're
we've got
writers.
a handful of flyers.
Yes, the flyers, the Griffin flyers are helpful. It's just a mind blowing moment that they're like having to just make this decision prior to even
Mm-hmm.
graduating. Like after graduation, it's to be expected, but then you also know what's coming because of, well, these are your orders. This is where you're to be, blah, blah, blah. This is what's happening. This
Mm-hmm.
attack just happened. So now we're sending you in. And because these are venin and they're fables, no
Yeah.
one knows what's about to happen. No one, you know.
Well, and it makes me so sad because um Serena, the Griffin Flyer, she's like,
Hmm.
we don't expect you to fight with us. We want you to leave. And
Hmm.
just explaining how two venin took down an entire horde of them. Like, you know, how powerful these creature people things are. And she's like, no, like, you guys are going to die. Please
Hmm.
go. It's okay. And I'm like, what a self sacrifice there. But that's so sad. Like, you'd think you'd want all the help you could get to try and survive. But she's like, no, this is a lost cause.
Well, and the fact that they're not, none of them are planning to get out of it. They're not planning to win. They're just planning to hopefully save more people than not. So they're
Yeah.
already like, oh,
Fight
we're
until
making
they
peace with our
can't.
gods. Yes, exactly. Oh, we're making peace with our gods because this is inevitably the end of our lives. Like, how sad. This is tragic right now. And
Yeah.
tiny little violets over here, like, let's go right into war. Like, what are you doing? Your oranges will not
It,
help you here, Violet.
your oranges. I do love what she says to Zayden, though, because she's reminding them, like, dragon fire will not take them out. They can only be killed with the daggers, giving them really important information. But she looks
Yeah.
to Zayden and says, thank you for everything you've done. You kept us alive these last couple of years and given us a fighting chance. Like, if we didn't need another reason to love him, but okay.
We just. it's just all of them continuously like going back and being like because Imogen, we have dragons. Surely that has to count for something. We're not afraid to fight. Like they're all just still
Mm-hmm.
trying to stand their ground of like, no, we can do it. We've,
Yeah.
somehow all of our training has led to this moment and we were sent here for a reason. And if this says that reason, then we'll go out fighting. And it's just heartbreaking because no, why? Why are we doing this?
Sigil says she has never run from a fight, and today will not be the first. I'm not going to stand by while innocent people are dying either. I'm not going to order any of you to join me because I'm responsible for all of you. None of you crossed that parapet because you wanted to. And I love that he says that because even though Violet's not a marked one, she was still forced into the quadrant just like they were.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like he is including her in this general statement, and like,
Mm-hmm.
so we're writers and we fight.
We can live as cowards or die as writers.
I'm ready to cry.
It's so.
I know. And just the literally like all of them, Imogen, we're writers. We defend the defenseless. That's what we do. And, Bodhi is in here
Bodhi,
like,
you
this is what
saved
we've
every single
trained
one of us.
for.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But Liam, we watched as our parents were executed because they had the courage to do the right thing. I'd like to think my death would be just as honorable. Ugh.
Stop it.
This is terrible. Why did we choose to do this?
The next part is awful too because Violet, it says, my chest tightens. Their parents died to expose the truth, while mine sacrificed my brother to keep this heinous secret.
Mm-hmm.
To know what we know, and for her just still at this moment to like not know the truth, and she's
Mm-hmm.
making these decisions not because she doesn't know that he's still alive and well and
Yeah.
helping them. So in this moment, she is fully making decisions for herself for what she believes is the right thing to do. And if that doesn't speak
Yeah.
volumes about her and Brennan, uh, uh,
I do like that she asked for Tarn's opinion, and his response is it's like kind of funny, but also such like a powerful statement because he says, "We will feast on their bones, Silverwood." I'm like, yes, you will. You will do that.
graphic, but point made.
And I love that.
And truly, truly, because what else would he come back with if not something witty and vulgar?
And Violet's thinking about all of her friends from Basgiath, like, they're going to live on to be second years. It's going to be okay if I die. It's no big deal. Like, she's coming to peace with all of this. And
Mm-hmm.
all of them are stepping up. They will not be defenseless. And they'll fight. And my heart is breaking right now. But as they should. I mean,
We can do
truly,
it.
if you were and I were in a scenario, we would choose to fight for people too. So,
Well, especially knowing that she's, yeah, thinking of obviously her friends that she cares about and loves, and then she's thinking about Mira, and Mira would do the same. Like if she was in the situation, she would do the same thing. So she's
yeah.
justifying it in that way, but also goes then back to mom had the dagger in her office. She knew about
Mm-hmm.
this and chooses to keep it secret. So that like adds more fuel to her fire of, all right, fuck it, let's do it. Let's try and stop these things before they hurt more people that don't deserve to be killed.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Fight the venin. We don't have any like fun quips for like TMFD or FJB. Like we need
No.
fucking Jack
I don't.
Barlow.
We need to know more about the venin, or as we talk about it, maybe we'll come up with something.
Yeah, it'll just pop up, I'm sure. But like right now, I'm raging against the venin. Actually, more so the wyvern, I think.
But they were created by the venin. Root of the
Valid point.
problem here. I just,
Mm. Uh, no, I don't want to. I
uh,
don't want to.
another thing that just kind of had me like so emotional. Segale is like up to Violet. She goes, "I knew you would make the right choice."
Yep.
Like, okay, big scary dragon
Thank you.
believing in her.
Thank you. Thank you. But also, she says he did too, even if he doesn't like you putting yourself in danger. He knew you would.
You are a far
Da,
cry
da,
from the
da.
trembling girl who stood in the courtyard and tried to mask her fear after parapet. I approve.
I wasn't asking for
Well,
your approval. I love that she
yeah,
comes
Violet's got to be
back at her
fucking
though. Like,
sassy.
well, like again, for how terrifying and ruthless the Gale is, why would you say anything back? Shut your face. Just because you're bonded to her dragon doesn't mean she's not gonna take you out.
Literally, she could scorch you right then and there if she wanted to, and she won't forget that. She will never, ever
No.
forget that Violet just said that to her.
Yes. Like that's gonna come back.
And also, you're about to go into a horrific, unknown battle. Like, maybe that's why she said it, because she's like, I'm probably gonna die anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But still, did you get audacity from Colonel Ados too, or what?
Where did you get your audacity? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't. Oh, and then
Heading
we have
into it, it does.
Andarna.
I was gonna say heading in, and we have the baby Andarna, sweet baby Andarna, and like just trying to get her hidden and to safety, and knowing that she really, I mean, she can't do anything really to protect herself here.
Yeah.
And if the venom wanted, could easily wipe her out instantly if she was close enough. So Violet's just like,
Oh,
stay,
what
stay,
would
stay,
be
stay.
so awful is if just because of Andarna being a baby, and this is would be so far fetched because obviously one, it doesn't happen, and two,
Mhm.
there's so much protection around her. But like, what? Oh my gosh, it would just be so awful if like the venom got Andarna as a baby and she still had paws and she like couldn't really spend that much time flying. Like, could you imagine if they like tried to take control of her?
Stop.
It doesn't
No.
happen, so it's fine. But like, that would be so
But
scary.
she's just a sweet little baby.
I
And she's
know.
just like
Ugh.
this positive little light for Violet. And she's like, oh, but we picked you, and oh, we got you, and oh, like, no, not Andarna, no.
And oh my gosh, then we just have Liam. He's like, uh, do we have a riot nearby?
Mm-hmm.
No. But then we think back to what Mira says. I could have sworn I saw a riot of dragons across the border. And you're like, holy shit. Holy shit. We have Wyvern.
A riot of dragons or a riot of wyvern? Why? No.
Wyverns. Tarn's pissed. He suspected it. Violet literally has to be a smartass and is like, you and I are going to work on our communication skills. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure we are.
Now is the time
At
to
a
talk
later
about that?
date. Yeah, at a
Sure.
later date. If we survive this, maybe we'll work through that in counseling.
Can you imagine her and Tarn
Dragon
and Darda
counseling.
having counseling, but they have to have one dragon counselor and one human counselor, so there's no
Mm-hmm.
bias.
Well, and that still seems like it would be biased because somehow the communication would be off because of the way the bonds are and everything. So it wouldn't. I don't think it would
Okay,
ever
I'm not
work.
thinking logistically here. I'm
Oh,
thinking everyone can speak out loud. Like in an
okay.
office, big cushy chairs.
You know how they,
And
gosh, like
Tarn's
there's like those movies where they give like talking devices to dogs. It's like that, but for
hmm
Tarn, and they like, okay, so now you can use your words, your grown up words.
instead of just growling. And he's sitting there and he's like, I really don't like it when she slides down my leg. Why can't she just mount like a normal bitch?
I really don't like it when she unbuckles while we're flying. It really freaks me out, okay? And I'm just really worried that she's gonna fall, and then I won't have a rider anymore.
And what was this all for?
And what was this all for? Except for some reason his device gets knocked and his voice is like way up here and he talks like a little baby.
Oh my gosh. Rebecca, parody,
We have ideas.
novella.
uh,
Can we get like book 3.5?
It's just Violet and Tarn and Darna and therapy.
Yeah, literally. We need to work through some issues here.
We do. They have a lot of them.
Gosh, and then Zayden, he's like, well, I know you're not going to stay. Even if I asked you to, you wouldn't. She's like, yeah, damn straight. I'm not going to stay home. Stay home. Stay back. You know what I mean.
Stay home.
God.
It's too early for
Anyway.
this.
But I love that she says, as angry as I am, I can't imagine a world without him in it. I need you to survive this, even if I hate that I still love you. Because, a few chapters ago, she's like, loved, felt. They need to go to counseling too. Gosh.
Yeah. It's just group counseling at this point. Gail's invited. Group therapy.
Yes, she is.
And they
honestly,
all start like they're in an anonymous room. And they're like, Tarn's like, I'm Tarn. And I have anger issues. And they say, hi, Tarn. And Gail, she'd be like, hi, I'm Gail. And I have trust issues. And they'd be like, hi, Gail. Violet would be like,
and I'm just a baby.
and I'm just a baby. Violet would be like, I'm Violet and I have abandonment issues.
Same.
It's so terrible. And Zayden would be like, I'm Zayden and I don't have any issues. Oh, there you go. He doesn't have any. He's just zaddy. He's like, I got shadow issues. I've got zaddy issues. Oh my gosh.
He also has trust issues.
He does. But
you know what? This might need to be a segment in our Fourth Wing deep dive. Or Fourth Wing. Good God. This might need to be a segment in our Iron Flame deep dive where we just have like monologues written for therapy as to how it would go between them all.
And after this
scene, is our Wattpad.
They go to therapy, and what is discussed in therapy this week? Tarn and Gail are really working through some of their issues because, well, they had to be apart for 3 days. So we're trying to use our words and not our bodies, okay? We know you miss her, but you have to use your words sometimes. Oh, God. Dragon sniff.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
Well, how did this? And then with this chapter, how did we get here?
I don't know. But then we've got Endarna, and we're like, okay, Endarna, look, we all brought you here because You've been really sassy lately. I know
This
you're
is
a
an
teenager,
intervention.
but you need to chill out on your emotions.
They all start having interventions, like How I Met Your Mother. And they're like, and Darna, this is an intervention. We know that you're just really getting hormonal lately, but
Or they're like, Violet, this is an intervention. Stop thinking about breaking his window. At the worst time possible.
Satan, this is an intervention. You cannot use your shadows to hide all of the sexuals. Please stop. I can't.
I mean,
Mm?
I
Okay, Iron Flame will
I
be
don't know how we
interesting.
got here.
I don't know how we got here.
It's kind of funny, and this is a good segue because we have a really funny line. Violet is parting with Andarna since she agreed to stay hidden, and Andarna is like, go for the throat. Yes,
Ah!
ruthless little baby. I love
Yep.
that. Just
Ugh.
champ.
Chomp, 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 chomp,
So
chomp.
big.
Oh, I forget though. So, in all seriousness, this really crazy, wild ride of a chapter that we're in. So she heads back, and then at this point they're still okay. The riot of Wyvern, but then they say where did the Wyvern go? Singular.
Mm-hmm.
Retreated to the valley. Don't worry, it will come back. At this point, they're still unaware of how many there truly are.
Yep.
I don't. It's all the descriptions of the red veins,
Mm-hmm.
the distended
Even their
veins,
robes.
their purple robes. Why are they purple? What are you?
The sage has a staff. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's
Screw the sage.
it's very no thank you.
Screw the sage. No,
Uh, and they even like Taryn's telling her, like, there's something in that trading post. We feel it. Like,
everything
what
is
is
just
in there?
off. Everything feels so different. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh, gosh. The fact that they were literally just told dragon fire cannot kill the venin. Take notes, people. You can only kill them with the dagger, and they're like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna swoop on by and just whoosh. Oh shit. He's not dead. You were just told it wouldn't work. Why did you do that?
I forgot.
Like, good
I
effort, I
forgot.
guess.
To
But
slow them
why?
down, I guess. I don't really know what the logic was on that. And like they were like watching as if did it work? Like you dumb bugs.
Yeah, she turns around, she goes, oh fuck, he's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they just told you. Did you
Yep.
forget in that short period of time?
Yes.
Uh, we apparently did.
Yes. Just the
Oh my gosh,
whole
but also
just this whole scene of now you have all of the riders, all of the flyers separate going in separate directions trying to somewhat make a plan of attack for how they're going to figure this out. So you've got Zayden and Soleil running one way, Day and Kath.
I'm like, whoa, when did Kath
When
show
did
up?
Dane get here? Yeah. um
Okay, if Dane were
Liam
getting
and
redemption, that would be the redemption. That would be the redemption. Him showing up and being like, I didn't know this was what was happening. I found out, I came to help. That would be the redemption I would accept.
That's the only redemption I would accept. But he did know. He sent them here. He knows.
I know.
No, no. But that would be great. I mean, honestly. All right, Rebecca, we
That would
have
have been a
revisions.
fantastic plot twist.
That would have been a great plot twist because no, TMFD. We've had way too much of him. For him to come back and try and steal the spotlight in this moment, I honestly don't know if I would
Yeah.
accept it. I don't know if I would.
Steal the spotlight, not so much. Just have a quick moment of like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I've learned the truth. I'm here to help. And then just like have a battle, but let the spotlight still be on, I mean, all of them, but also Violet.
I don't think anyone, I mean, even in this instance, she is the spotlight. Like, Zayden doesn't even. It comes down to her idea, and the
Literally.
execution falls all to her. So, really, the spotlight is only on her. Zayden helps. They all
Yeah.
help. But ultimately,
Yeah. They all have their moments, but when it
mm-hmm,
comes down to the very end of all of this battle, it is her.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Which I hate,
There
hate,
is a
hate how it gets to that point.
I know. But there is an interesting note here because you know, Violet is realizing, well, Zayden might command the riders on this field, but Tarn is clearly leading the dragons. And I'm like, wow, that's just another thing that shows how powerful. He is the second most powerful dragon in the Empyrean, and he is out here commanding his army. And I just like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
chills. I love it.
Mm-hmm. But even,
He's
the
so
note
great.
of, she says, dragons can speak to griffins? Naturally. How do you think we communicated before humans were involved? Duh. It's just,
He's so
he's always,
sassy.
he's so sassy. I'm like, just, okay. You could say, okay, turn's got to go. We need to have an intervention. Use your words nicely, Tarn, please. You don't always have to be so sarcastic. Mm-hmm.
I like
I
that he does give her
can't.
a reality check, though. She's too focused on seeing where Zayden's at, where Segale is at, and Tarn's like, no, like they can hold their own.
Mm-hmm.
We have orders. You need to focus. Like, get your shit together.
Well, and truly,
Ugh,
it comes up even later. You have to protect you and your dragon
yeah.
and what's going on around you because Tarn can't see directly behind him. He doesn't know if a griffin or, well, I guess not griffins anymore because that's not where we're at, but these wyverns are coming up behind him. You have to be his eyes and ears all around, and he's going to make sure he doesn't run you into a freaking mountain. So
Yeah.
work together, and Segale and Zayden or whoever else, like, they're taking care of themselves too. Like, you have to keep, it's you and your dragon. That's who you're bonded to. Focus on that. And I think because this is her first real battle, she's learning
Yeah.
that in this moment, which is a terrible time to have to learn it, but she
Well,
does pretty
especially
good
being a first
as it
year.
goes through. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, it's just
The two
awful.
years that they had, I mean, even Imogen having another year on her, like, that makes all the difference
Yeah.
in some of these parts because
Yeah.
it's life or death here, life or death.
This chapter is just terrifying and gut wrenching. There is venin everywhere. There's wyvern everywhere. There's distressed citizens. They can feel the power as the venin start channeling. They say it's palpable in the air. It's making the hair on her arms stand up. Like, just the intensity of all of this, and props to Rebecca because of how well this is written. I'm still just like, oh gosh.
I literally had that noted too next, and it, but then how they go about it too. Everything is dying on the ground around her.
Yeah.
Anything that's within, I don't know, some radius is just immediately dead. And she says, Tarn, is she channeling? He growls. And I'm like, okay, so we're just touching the ground now and instantly dead. So, and I hate where it goes from here and just seeing the bodies, the amount of civilians that are just crinkling to the ground into a husk of nothing because these
Yeah.
venin are channeling from the ground, and then they're just becoming that much stronger because they're taking all of that power with them. It's the
It's it's very cryptic and eerie, and like you see the mental image of just like a big circle around them just like turning brown, just like killing
yep.
everything in its wake, and you're like,
Just
oh my gosh. And I want to note this just so I don't forget it later. Hopefully I don't forget it later. But whenever you read Crescent City, then we can talk about this, like the comparison of the channeling absorbing the power when you learn about the first light. It's just like a common factor in Crescent City. It's a very we have things to discuss.
well, honestly, it kind of makes me think of Throne of Glass, the Valg too. They just kill
Hmm.
everything, the darkness,
Yeah.
and I'm like, ugh.
But
What is
fucking
happening?
fucking venin channeling from the ground. Poor Salil. Sh- oh god. Her and her dragon just both fall into this wave of death going across the ground, and they're both just gone. And not only did they just
Shrivel.
die, but like that venin got not only a person but a dragon's power.
Mm-hmm. Now it's 10 times
Great.
stronger just from that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. It's
Knowing too, knowing too, like in this, because of the bond between the mated dragons, so she's obviously
mhm.
able to communicate with Zayden. So she, relays to Zayden what just happened, and literally no words are said. It's just the only acknowledgement is a wave of sorrow, and I know it's him. Because you're now in the situation where everything is life or death, you knew that was the possibility of going into this. He can't even stop to
Mhm.
think for one moment of, oh my God, what just happened? It's okay, I have to keep moving. And that's so
Literally, or I'll die.
like, yeah, how do you just keep, you can't, this is why I was not cut out for war.
Nope.
You
Nope.
can't
Nope.
sit and think and have a moment for grief or remorse in any sense because you have to keep moving and keep trying to protect everyone else that's still in danger. No, mm-mm.
It's just it's terrifying, and then they're realizing, okay, well, whatever they are after, it's in the building, it's unstable material. So Violet's like, hey, I can't aim for shit, but let me just with my lightning.
Ka-chow.
Is this Lightning
Ka-chow.
McQueen coming back for round 3 in this
Yeah.
Fourth Wing episode?
Yes.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
That's actually so funny. Lightning Violet, Lightning McQueen, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a really good thought, and I mean, good for her for even thinking about it this way. You know, it's wild to think about. It says the venin reaches the road, and the wyvern skids to a landing on the dirt path so she can mount. And it's like they're just like dragon riders, like they have to get on their mounts to fly away and everything, but they're these scary, powerful creatures, so it just feels different. But it's like also shows how human they are because they still rely on these creatures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still have to have, I mean, not that they have to have, but having the wyvern, like, too, later on when we see what we discover about the connection between the wyvern and the venin
Yeah.
and how really it is just like dragons and riders of having that connection and how detrimental it is between the two. It's really interesting because the venin are supposed to be these creatures of like extreme power. They're channeling from the ground, but it's also corrupt power and magic. So, in a way, because they're connected to these wyvern, it's like they're all just corrupt. And so when you take one out, you take multiple out. It's a really interesting pattern how that works,
Yeah.
which is really handy later on.
Well, and it's so shitty because, they were told that the venin couldn't be killed with dragonfire, but Tarn's like, all right, bet. So he's gonna just blast the wyvern in hopes that the venin would fall, and neither
Hmm.
do. Like,
Hmm.
both of them are surviving, and now they're going towards them. You're like, ah, shit. Okay, well, now, again, new plan as we have blue fire blasting all around us.
Hmm.
And now we have more wyvern just popping up as things are progressing. It's like, oh, we had one, now we have five. Oh, now we have
They're
12. And you're like,
just, yes, they're everywhere. They keep popping up. And then obviously, now she's concerned with too, anyone on the ground is now at
yeah,
risk. And so and Tarn is just like, they know what they risk. Like, yes, okay, but can we please relay the message anyway? Because maybe they didn't see it. Maybe, if at all
mm-hmm,
possible, even if, they're helping, get these people into the caves or the tunnels or wherever they're going, and at the very last second, hop on their dragon and fly away. Just to, if that means fewer people die, and obviously the dragons. Like, why are we not turn protect the veil, right?
right.
Save your brothers from another mother.
I do think it's interesting that, you know, my first thought is when Violet's asking him, like, how are we supposed to kill these wyverns? Like, oh, the same way you kill a dragon. So I'm thinking, okay, well, dragons could kill each other. They could rip each other's throats out. Like, and he's like, no, you could stop our hearts with your lightning. Again, Violet
Hmm.
cannot aim for shit. But he's like, oh yeah, head of flying wyvern. No big deal.
She's a shot in the dark. It's so terrible.
It's
But
fine.
she's
It's fine.
trying. And the fact that he still like has like little hope for her to figure this out in this moment.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet daddy Tarn, thank you. But I don't know why you're relying on her to save your ass.
Ugh. And but when she's wielding, even though she's missing, it's getting the Venin's attention, which is
Hmm.
interesting. It's like at first you think, okay, she's grabbing their attention because that's scary. She's a potential threat, and they're like, oh, but look at the power this one has.
Yes.
Not, oh shit, we
Not
need
a
to get
good
away
a
from
good
her.
not a good kind of attention. They are like, let me
Yeah.
get as close to that one as possible so I can kill her and steal her power. And that becomes a problem.
Well, even in Iron Flame, the Venin are given strict orders not to kill her.
Hmm.
So it has to be from this battle, whatever is relayed back
Hmm.
to the sage or however it happens, obviously completely separate book, but we have a huge jump of we're going to try and kill you, but now we can't kill you. We need to take you.
Hmm. Well, and
I hate.
that is interesting. But also, do we know that they're really trying to kill her right here? Because even with the dagger, the poison dagger that we see later on, do we know that they are actually trying to kill her, or are they just trying to
Take her down until they can take her.
incapacitate her in a way
Mm-hmm.
to take her wherever they want to take her, to the sage or whatever? I don't know. That is interesting though, because I didn't think
Um,
about that from Iron Flame.
you know what? Actually, I'm pretty sure they are trying to kill her just because, and we'll get to it in a few pages. Uh, but the
Oh, they
one
say it.
that actually
Yeah.
stabs her like says that they're going to kill
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she even talks about her sage
Yep.
and how like he would love that much power, and Ah!
Mm-hmm.
I just, I hate it. And then, they get the idea like, well, maybe they're like us. You kill the venin, or you kill the wyvern, and the venin die. Fucking joke's on you, bitches!
Uh-huh. There's just
I,
riderless wyvern everywhere, so you
like, how do
can't
you know
trace
who even
them.
has a rider?
You can't trace them back to any one venin or anything because there's just so many of them too at this point.
And just the amount of fighting, not one person there is bored. Not one person's like, oh, maybe I could go help over here. Like, everyone is stretched as thin as possible. And, Zayden's completely on the other side. But I did note this just because it's another spot that we kind of see Zayden's skill and then a paragraph later his power.
Mm-hmm.
It says, Sigale is on the west side of the outpost, and my heart crawls into my throat when she flies low, and Zayden does an impressive running jump off her back, landing with a roll onto the street. And then he's covering people in shadow. So it's like, we know you've been training your whole life, but just to
Yeah.
see it in action
Well,
is
and
crazy.
his skill of being able to run and jump off of the back of his dragon compared to Violet, who is strapped to her
I
dragon.
have
Like the
to
difference
slide down
between
his
the
leg.
two. Yes, yes. Like, so yeah, Shadow Daddy Wing Leader is deserving of that title because he is a
Uh
badass.
huh.
And then going into the next part, keep going because
Uh
this
huh.
this is like one of my favorites.
I the fact that he does it twice. He does
Yeah.
it
Oh yeah, I
twice in
know.
this chapter. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my
It's
gosh.
even better
Zayden is
later
out
because it's
here.
like the
I
final.
know. Ah, he is out here throwing his shadows. He's protecting the people, but then he lassos a rope of shadows around Sigale's head to pull himself up into safety. But like, okay, what in the Shadow Daddy fantasy cowboy romance era are we in?
This one. This is the one.
this is
Giddy
our
up, giddy
this
up,
is our
giddy up,
version of
giddy up.
cowboy romance.
This is, I don't think I've read a cowboy romance yet, but if I had to say this is what I need right here. Shadow Daddy Zayden lassoing his way onto his dragon.
I
Ugh.
just I love it. I love it
Yep.
so much. And again, Violet gets so fucking focused on Zayden, rightfully so, but she forgets what she's doing, and they almost get taken out by a wyvern.
Yeah, she's
Like,
clearly
what's.
not paying attention at all. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But I mean, who saves them is. I love it because, Sigale just bursts through here and she's like, I'm gonna kill this bitch for going after my mans.
She gets real angry that she's over here having to defend Tarn because Violet should be paying attention to him, and her and
Mm-hmm.
Zayden are paying attention to each other. So she gets real snippy, but they finally make it out, and then shit hits the fan because now Liam, sweet baby Liam, needs help, and I'm not ready. I'm not. I don't even want to turn the page. I don't even want. I don't want. Mm-mm.
We have a couple more pages till the worst of the worst
The
happens.
venin raises a staff of some sort, sending balls of blue flame. Sorry.
Great balls of blue flame.
Exactly. At Day, but he manages to avoid them. Oh my god. Also, Liam out here being a badass stands up and runs along Day's spine toward his dagger tail. At the last second, Day uses his tail to whip Liam up into the air toward the wyvern. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even have time to scream before he lands at a crouch on the wyvern's rear and pulls out one of the rune daggers like the two Zayden gave me. Oh my gosh. Liam, Liam, Liam.
The
He
fact that
is
oh god, they're in flight. He runs from his dragon. He lands with the other one and then
flips.
just slits the venin's throat.
Uh huh. And then he
You're like,
immediately just jumps back, leaps right off of his back, slits his throat, jumps midair, and Day just flies up and catches him like it's, oh yeah, that was casual.
this is a training exercise. You did fantastic. But yeah, that was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just we just noted Zayden's power, but Liam, this is all. There is no power with like his signet in this aspect. This is just
Brute
amazing
force.
brute strength and the
Yes.
hand-to-hand combat. Like, oh my gosh, this is him proving he is the best of the first years.
Oh, he 100% is. Which is why it is so heartbreaking. No, it's heartbreaking because he's sweet baby Liam and he just.
It's heartbreaking for many reasons.
It starts to really kind
I
of
can't.
get really. It starts to really get really. Words. It starts to get really intense. And this is kind of when even Violet is acknowledging, like, okay, when we started, we thought a wyvern or a venin. And now we're realizing there's four wyvern or four venin, and maybe there's not a chance that we can actually beat them all. And so the
Yeah.
panic, the sheer fear that is now racing through her of, oh my God, how do we actually beat them when we can have to literally be close enough to stick them with a dagger? How are we going to pull this off? And I pooped my pants 3 times reading this chapter. So like I don't know how she's handling it. How just casually.
No,
Nope.
it's terrifying. But we have a collision between Day and a wyvern, which just sends Liam flying. And thank God, Violet and Tarn were close enough that they catch him. Like he is hanging on for dear life. Thank goodness it
Barely.
wasn't Violet, because man, that bitch would have slipped so fast.
So fast. She's just falling for dear
But
life.
Liam's like, he is. Oh my gosh! And the fact that she like hooks him in with the lap belt. She's like, "Oh, I never used the lap belt, so here, Liam, let me just
Right.
strap you in,
She's
quickie."
casually. The images I just have in my head of this whole scene. And then as they're going and she's draping her tiny little body across him. So I only imagine she's only maybe covering like her chest
His
over one,
like,
one shoulder blade to the middle of his back,
yeah,
maybe. Like there's no way she's reaching all the way around him. So she's barely holding on to him. He's obviously 60 pounds at least heavier than her.
yeah.
Like the fact that she's trying to hold him up, and this is just midair on the back of a dragon, flying, still trying to fight off Wyvern.
And we're only in this situation because the wyvern was coming for Tarn, and Liam and Day said, "Hell no!"
Mhm.
But that puts Day and the wyvern
Directly. Mhm.
locked into battle.
Completely locked in. And unfortunately, because of the proximity, now Violet can't even attempt, not that her aim is any good anyway, which is why she definitely isn't attempting to save Day because she's afraid that she will strike Day and not the Wyvern. So now we're just
Yeah,
watching as they're plummeting and twisting and turning and clawing and ripping each other to shreds midair.
yeah.
It is the most violent,
The
horrible scene ever.
the
Oh
fact
my god.
that it's noted that the wyvern, it doesn't care what happens to itself. It's
No.
mindlessly killing. So we know this is creation of the venom. It's creation of evil. It's just like, yeah, I die, but I'm gonna kill this bitch while I'm at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And Zayden can't even come help because he's defending people. Like, we are left with nothing.
It
I
is
just,
like the heartbreak of what is coming, but also knowing she's reaching out to Zayden and she's trying to get some kind of assistance because at this
Yeah.
point she's stuck on her dragon. She thinks maybe if someone else can get over there, another dragon. I don't, because obviously she can't do anything. She has Liam. So if another dragon can come and
Yeah,
try to
if they
separate the
gang up on the
two,
wyvern.
yeah, maybe they
Well,
can
even
get
Tarn
someone else.
tries.
Yeah, he does. But because
He
of
slams his
Liam,
tail, but the
he's
wyvern doesn't let
mhm,
go. But yeah,
no,
he's
it's
more
just fully
immobile and
latched,
incapacitated than what he could be.
100%. So now you have her reaching out to Zayden, and the fact that he's like, if I leave, hundreds of civilians would die. And is
Hmm.
that moment of like, do you
We have to make a
save
choice.
one that you love, or do you save many for the greater good? And that,
Yep.
like, okay, talk about how Rebecca writes. And that is like, that's a true issue that is prevalent in like modern society. And I think that's, but it's just so heartbreaking because it's Liam and it's not fair and Day and oh,
The fact
no.
that we have more wyvern coming, and Zayden's now on his way because he has a second, but there's no helping. And Liam is trying and trying to tell Violet, we have to take out the riders. She's like, yeah, 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 I know. Like, bitch, listen. Take a breather and listen to what this man is telling you, because he's not just chatting to chat right now.
Mhm.
I'm just
Mm.
the
It's
I
the way
can't. I
she
cannot
writes
now.
these scenes. It's the way she writes these scenes. It's going to be all right. It has to be all right, even though the ground rushes at us closer and closer each second. It has to be. Day screams again. Why? 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 And I don't. No.
He's dying. Liam lunges across Tarn's back, reaching for his dragon as if so he can touch the red dagger tail one last time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to read it?
You got it. You're already crying.
He's being eviscerated, and there's nothing we can do. The wyvern roars in victory, a heartbeat before they crash into the hillside with a sickening thud. The wyvern limps away on its hind legs and the talons that tip its wings. Day doesn't move.
The fact that Tarn is now having this grief too is
He's
like,
roaring his grief.
yes, it's just that much more intense. Of you have the bond between your rider and your dragon that's already heartbreaking, and knowing now what
Mm-hmm.
is to come for Liam is like, yes, as great as the saying is, like, a rider without their dragon is a tragedy, but a dragon without their rider is, wait, that's flipped.
Yeah.
Yep, but you know what I mean. It's dead. And when you read it at the very beginning of the book, haha, cute, funny little thing. But then as you
You're just
progress
like,
through the book
oh,
and
okay.
realize the reality of, oh my god, if a dragon dies, the rider actually does die. And but then the bonds between the dragons and how the Empyrean works. Feeling Tarn's grief just
Yeah.
bellowing. Ugh. And I think
It's
too,
not even just his, because and Darna's cries fill my head.
mhm,
Like, all the dragons are grieving, and now Violet is
this
feeling their griefs.
this is the moment, well, and like when there's like spicy scenes, this, but going through this chapter again is when I like remember I'm not really that analytical of a reader. I'm really like a feelings reader.
Me
And
too.
if a book makes me feel that I love it, and like if it can make me cry, if it can make me laugh out loud, if it can make me
Five
like,
stars.
ooh, shit, 5 stars. Like that is what I'm
Yep.
here for. I'm a feelings reader. I'm an emotional reader. I 100% am here for that. Do I think
Yep.
like everything that goes on in these, the politics, like the signets, all of the really intricate details are really interesting, yes, but that comes all second to stuff like this. Like this is
Yep.
the bread and butter of why I read books. And
Same.
I can't. Uh
The amount
so
of
now
times we have cried and been devastated
over
because
this
Day is
very
gone,
day is gone. And
which means
now
Liam is not going to make it.
you only have minutes, Tarn warns. Day, Liam whispers, falling limp against Tarn's back. I'll get you to him, I promise. Day's gone, I cry to Zayden, my voice a trembling mess. Liam is dying. How are we here? How are we here?
I hate it
The fact
here.
that I hate it here. The fact that she tries so hard to like physically move him as close as possible to get him today, but because of where they've landed and now
He's too
like
big. She's small.
he's yeah, he's like damn near twice her size and
Yeah.
he can't even, not a moment from getting off of Tarn's back to crumpling to the ground. Like he knows and he's
He's
just
fading.
he's fading so quickly. And she tries so fast.
This isn't fair. This isn't right. Not Day, not Liam. They're the strongest of our year. They're the best of us. Like, yeah, you acknowledge his success, but you acknowledge him as a person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's not just how amazing he is in hand to hand and being a writer. He is an amazing person as a whole. He cares for his people so deeply. And it's bullshit, Rebecca. I'm still not okay.
It's heartbreaking that he's sitting here and he's just telling her, it's all right, it's all right. And like she's the one trying to fight for him to one, stay and
Yeah.
like live through it, even though it's just not going to happen. But two, to like stay long enough to get him today.
Yeah.
And it's just terrible. He says, this is when I was talking earlier about parts that, because obviously the most notable line from this whole chapter is it's been my honor, but these moments is really like
Mm-hmm.
when I start crying, it's obviously when Day's gone, but then it's all the way through because at Parapet, his face twists in pain. You have to take care of my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Liam, no. I choke on the words. You'll be there. You have to
You
be
have
there.
to be there.
It doesn't like, and then her reaching out to Tarn and Tarn just telling her, there's absolutely nothing you can do, Silver One. We both know I won't. Just promise you'll take care of Sloane. Like, all of the months he's been writing her letters and this is it.
Yeah.
This is how we go out. Like, thank you, Rebecca, for ruining my life.
Everyone in this book needs therapy, and you and I need therapy after this book.
Mm-hmm. So she
The
promises,
fact that he,
obviously. You go ahead.
yeah, and the fact that he even says, I know you feel betrayed, but
Mm-hmm.
Zayden needs you. And I don't just mean alive, Violet. He needs you. Please hear him out. Like, but what Violet says back is like, my heart is breaking all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you for being my shadow. Thank you for being my friend. It's been my honor.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time reading this book and I was sobbing so uncontrollably. I had to keep putting the book down because I like could not pull myself together enough to see the pages
Well,
to
and I
read.
was when you're crying so hard like that, it's just like water is like halfway up your eyes and you can't see
Mm-hmm.
anything. And that's, I
I
mean, even
literally, I
just
was
the
just
other
like,
day,
oh my god.
I know this whole just going through and talking about Sloane, and he's just really, his whole character comes out again, time and time again, how he really was her friend, and she's just trying, and it doesn't happen. And then we feel Zayden come in with the same grief now, and he just scoops him up the best way possible. Scoops him up. No, Liam. And Liam pleads, Day, I know, brother. I know. I'll take you.
It's the brother that kills me. I'm like,
Mhm.
I know, brother.
I know. I don't
God,
know why we're
just
here.
ugh, it's so awful. And while Liam and Zayden are having their final moments, there are dozens of wyvern. They're just everywhere
Dozens.
now.
Mm-hmm.
And in Violet's head, she can hear Zayden scream. So she knows that Liam is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And now
I
she
like how
feels
they.
guilty.
Hold on. I like how Rebecca notes that though, because it says, "My breath freezes in my lungs as shadows momentarily whip out around him like a blast of menace and sorrow." Like,
Mm-hmm.
what two words to use? And it, ugh, no, I'm sorry. Um, when we fight with our dragons, you cannot die. Okay, thanks. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I am not okay. How do you go from here? I don't want to. And that's the end of the book. It was the worst. Thanks for coming. Oh.
Liam, who never complained about being my shadow, never hesitated to help, never bragged about being the best of our year, he died protecting me. Oh gods, and I just asked him if we'd ever really been friends an hour ago. Like, here's the
Mm-hmm.
guilt settling.
Mm-hmm. And now the oh shit of, okay, one of those just killed Day and my friend, and now there's dozens. How do
Yeah,
we go about even trying to take them down? Because literally just one took out Day.
yeah.
So now what? And now we're sitting here on the ground like, holy shit, we have to move because remember, these venin are everywhere and from the ground like little
Mm-hmm.
straws.
Ew. I do like that in this moment, Violet realizes, or maybe it's just her emotions taking over, but she can't wallow in her guilt right now. Right
Hmm.
now, she is a vengeful bitch. And
Oh, she's
I am
pissed.
so here for it because we are pissed. Like,
Hmm.
this is our
Hmm.
Liam now, and we are pissed. We need justice.
Oh, and justice will come swift, bitch, because you did our sweet baby Liam so wrong. And yeah, she's like, oh,
So
hell
wrong.
no. She's like, it might kill me to wield that many times, but watch this. Hold my drink.
Literally. And the fact that Zayden just gives her that small, like, you can kill them. There is no
Hmm.
me without you.
Hmm.
And he's protecting her long enough to let her get back onto Tarn and into fighting position.
Hmm. Hmm. I'll give you as much time as I can. The whole teamwork makes the dream work scenario is finally like clicking here. And
Yeah.
taking a little hiccup ups all the time. Apparently, we just keep Iron Flame. I'm looking at you. But right here, right in
Honestly.
this moment, they're finally like, okay, we got this. Teamwork. We could do it together because right now, in this moment, our friend just died and we are pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed, pissed, pissed. Pissed, pissed, pissed. And let's go, violence.
She literally says, I turn back toward Liam's and Dave's lifeless bodies, and rage flood my veins faster than any lightning strike I've ever wielded. And just seeing these hordes of venin and, or not venin, I'm sorry, seeing these hordes of wyvern and now being so
Mm-hmm.
angry, you're like, fuck it, kill them all. I'm
Kill them
done.
all.
This is not fun. These bitches gonna die.
I hate it here.
I really do hate it here in this part of the book, yeah.
Two, I think she's on top of what just happened, and then with Liam and Day, she looks to Zayden. No matter how strong he is, Zayden won't be able to hold them forever. His arms already shake with the effort of controlling so much power. He'll be the first to die if I'm not exactly what he called me under that tree all those months ago. Violence. Because really, Zayden's on the ground right now, completely vulnerable. So she has to do everything
Mm-hmm.
she can correctly and precisely right now. It's literally do or die. So intense. But then she says, I have to be as strategic as Brennan and as confident as Mira. And the fact that she's like thinking of Brennan right now anyway is like,
Yeah,
oh shit, little do you know, because everyone else knows.
right.
Well, we don't know, but Zayden knows. And literally, I'm just like, yes, channel that. Channel those people that give you that strength because, bitch, you got vengeance and we got to get it right now.
All I want is to show these assholes exactly how violent I can be. We want the same exact thing. Revenge.
Revenge. Mm-hmm.
Enter her
And
reputation era.
then, mm-hmm. Shit gets wild. Shit gets so
God, I
wild.
you're like, okay, yes, bad bitch, let's go,
Great, here we
revenge.
go.
Just kidding. I never see the one coming at us from the left, not until I feel Tarn's roar of pain.
Who the fuck ends a chapter?
Okay.
Rebecca. Who ends a chapter like that?
Why would you do this to me?
I'm just kind of glad we
I
didn't end the
just
chapter with "It's been my honor" because I would be like
Oh my
deceased.
gosh, I would riot.
I would just be done. I'd be like, never mind. This book was fun. I'm done with it now.
I'm not having fun anymore.
Chapter 37 summary. Oh god. I'm not ready. Although Day and Liam have perished to the wyvern, the battle is not over. Violet is now face to face with the venin on Tarn's back. The stakes keep climbing, and so does Tarn as they try to defeat the venin. Violet has only one option, and it might just cost them all their lives, but the plan is in place. With Zayden on the ground and Violet in the air, they only have one shot to pull it off. Can they do it?
I don't even
No.
feel like these chapters properly have a dun 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 anymore.
No. I'm not. It's hard to write summaries too without wanting to like just say everything in the very
Yeah.
beginning without because there's a lot of good action in them. So it's hard to
Yeah.
summarize in like a suspenseful way.
Right. Well, our excerpt says, but it was the third brother who commanded the sky to surrender its greatest power, who finally vanquished his jealous sibling at a great and terrible price. Quote the origin in the Fables of the Baron.
So I had a thought with the fables because and this is kind of just for like as we're seeing the series progress, because we still have 3 books. Onyx Storm comes out in
Mm-hmm.
January, and we have in Fourth Wing, we get the Wyvern and the Venin. And then as we move into Iron Flame, we see Zayden.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, it's just
Yeah.
terrible. But is there more creatures that we don't know about in the fables that we haven't been introduced to yet? Like right now, we think
Mm-hmm.
the venin is the worst possible
The
thing.
worst.
But then I had a thought of, is there more that we don't know about? And this is about to be like even more of a roller coaster, Rebecca. I
Oh, I'm
like
sure.
the stress I felt suddenly just thinking about more creatures being introduced past the venin,
Mm-hmm.
or as we're even learning about the venin, because we still don't really know a whole lot about them. The stress
And
I
I mean, we do find
feel,
out in Iron Flame that there's like different like levels of the
yeah,
venom, and they're like differentiated by how they look.
the sage,
So
and
it'll
yes,
be, yeah, it'll be interesting
yeah,
to kind of get an understanding better as to like what each level means and what their power levels are
mm-hmm,
and what is beyond that, because clearly
mm-hmm,
there's more to it than we know right now.
mm-hmm. So, what is in the fables that we haven't quite been introduced yet? The
Mm-hmm.
stress. The stress I feel going. I mean, it's only August.
I
And
know.
we're still, I mean, going to go through Iron Flame after this and really get into even more theories. But the thoughts, it's always the excerpts that really get you thinking of, oh,
Oh yeah.
well, why did you put that in there?
Yeah, they're
Damn it,
not there just
Rebecca.
for fun. Like,
No, as much as I wish they were. And even when I probably read it the first time, like you read it and then kind of dismiss that information because then the chapters get so juicy. But
yeah,
those are all so key to how the story is told.
they are, yeah.
And she does a good job of it. Always giving props to Rebecca.
Always. And we have like this, for the most part, off the wall excerpt, completely
Mm-hmm.
unrelated to what we have going on, because we
Right.
just jump right in and we have Venin
Venom.
on Tarn's back. She has stabbed him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this bitch stabbed our dragon with a sword, right?
And
And
he's like
so that's terrifying.
trying to throw her off, and she's just casually dangling by the sword, like, nah, just chill
Yeah,
it.
I
Like, get
noted
out of
that
here.
because it's like how powerful you are
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have a dragon roll midair, and you're just like, I'm gonna hang on this sword that I stabbed deep enough in you that's not coming out, first of all, and then I'm not falling. My shoulders aren't dislocating. Like, no big.
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
just, it's so crazy. So we've got the venom on his back. We have more riderless wyvern following. Like, this just doesn't look like any sort of winning situation at this rate, and it's terrifying. The fact that Violet is finally like, fuck, there's something I'm missing. It's taunting me from the edge of my mind like the answer to a test I know I've studied for. Like, Liam tried to tell you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You just didn't
Mm-hmm.
listen.
You are listening. You are listening. I don't like, because we're now getting Venom with dialogue.
Yeah, face
And
to
I
face.
hate them. I hate them. Yeah, we're right here. And she goes, aren't you a little small for a dragon rider? But literally, Violet, big enough to kill you. If you are not the smallest one with the biggest balls, then I don't know who is. Because, like, you can't,
I'm gonna tell you, it just comes with being 5'2".
yeah, that big energy. Because literally,
Yeah.
you don't have poisons to take her out right now. Like, you have to figure out how to take her out. And on top of that, you are basically on a moving parapet on the back of Taryn's back. Like, girl, figure it out real
Mm-hmm.
quick. Figure it out real quick.
Just terrifying the fact that she unbuckles herself from her saddle and gets up. Like she's gotta do something. So she's up and walking. She literally describes it as a moving, flying parapet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Tarn is just pissed. Like, how dare you
Mm-hmm.
unbuckle and get out of that saddle that I had made for you? Sit your ass back down. She's
Yeah.
like, excuse me, no. I have, we have to figure this out, but the venin, this particular venin, is so lethally fast. Like, she's quicker than what she's
Mm-hmm.
seen Zayden or Imogen. And she's been training with them for months. And she's quicker
Yeah.
than both of them. So, I'm sorry, you're might be SOL here, because how the heck are you going to figure this out and take her down? But she does, obviously.
Well,
Main
it says
character
that
energy.
um where is it? Is that it's as if she knows exactly what I'm going to do before I do it. She counters every one of my attacks with a quicker one of her own, as if she's adapting to my fighting style from mere moments of
Mhm.
combat. So it's like, okay, is she just more skilled and trained in hand to hand combat? Or is there something we're missing and we don't know yet about
Mhm.
the venin? Maybe they can predict these things and maybe they can adapt and learn on the spot like that. So it's an interesting thing. Like, huh,
Well, thinking to the different
why?
levels of venom, how we were just talking about, like, are they similar to the dragons in a way that their communication and knowledge and how they're channeling power, is that not shared across them in a way? Obviously, there's like the
Mm-hmm.
sage, which is a more powerful venom, but then is that
Yeah,
yeah, is it somehow that they're, because how is it that she's able to know almost what Violet is going to do before it happens? Something is
yeah.
happening.
Things that we don't even know yet.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the fucking venin, such untapped power. No wonder we were called here. You could command the sky to surrender all its power, and I bet you don't know what to do with it, do you? Riders never do. I'm going to split you open and see where all that astonishing lightning comes from. Okay, so one, terrifying threat. You're dissing the writers for not knowing how to use their power according to you, but we were called here.
Mhm. Who called you here?
Who called you here? But they were sent there.
Mhm. Mhm.
What
Mhm.
if
Mhm. Mhm. Keep going.
all of that correlates? Like it could, obviously it could be like they got word that the venom were going this way, so they sent them there. Like it could be that a little too convenient, or it could be like, hey, BT Dubs Venom, you might want to come here for this little thing, and we might be sending some sacrifices to you.
But more so of, they thought it was just going to be the marked ones, right?
Right.
And now we have Violet, who was brought along because she is a powerhouse, and Zayden
Yeah.
obviously wanted her on his side. But then to get there and realize, no, this is an ambush attack. We've been sent here. But yeah, who sent them? Who sent you? Was it just a
Mm-hmm.
coincidence from the sage of being like, okay, this is the next area we're going? Or is this a General Melgren?
Yeah. Does this go up the ladder to
Yes.
Colonel Ados, General Melgren, even at this point in
Mm-hmm.
time, Lilith?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Mm-hmm. But also, I'm going to split you open, see where all that astonishing lightning comes from. No, please don't disembowel me just because you're like curious what my inside color looks like. Like, please don't do that. Just these
Or
threats
maybe
are
I'll let
like,
him do
huh?
it. You'll wish for death if I hand you over to my sage.
Ugh.
Like, okay, what is your sage gonna do? You're
Mm-hmm.
already threatening to split me open.
Mm-hmm.
What how is it worse for your sage?
Yeah. Well, because I guess at that point you'll wish for death. So the sage
Yeah.
has other plans for her of how to torture and
Mm-hmm.
like extract power without actually killing her because she is so lethal. I don't know. That's an interesting thought. She has a teacher? She's a damn student?
Like, Violet, this is what you're focusing on right now.
Yeah. She's
Focus on
like,
what's in
she's
front of
just like
you.
me. Yeah. Oh my
We could just be
gosh.
best friends. It's fine. Let's just get to know each other. We started off on the wrong foot.
It's a tea time on Tarn's back.
This is not enemies to besties. I'm not here for that.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Big
How
fat
quickly
nope.
she
But
comes to, yeah.
Zayden's out here, level the playing field, and he just rushes shadows over them, putting them into darkness. I'm like, honestly, what a genius idea.
Uh-huh. The plan is coming together now that she's completely aware of the fact that, oh, that's right, I have the upper hand because I can wield lightning and I can create light in the exact moment I need it to stun, if not kill her at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
She's still not great at it, but she's just trying. I
It's
love that
fine.
she's using the lightning in a different aspect just from like
Yeah.
striking something and killing or disarming or destroying something. Like now she's using it for light. And I think that also is interesting to Violet's particular character of how she always is the person of positivity and like not, in the beginning of the book, harming people but not to kill. And in this moment, she's using that light again that's inside of her for
Mm-hmm.
her advantage. And obviously, the goal here is still to kill this goddamn venin. But
But this is not at the college. It's not, okay, we're sparring and I shouldn't kill
right.
you. This is, you will kill me if I don't kill you. You killed my
Mm-hmm.
friend. Like, this is definitely justifiable. And the fact that she uses that just enough to gain that upper
Mm-hmm.
hand, get over there and stab her using the moves Aiden showed her. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
like, full circle moment right there. Love that because we love Violet and Zayden on the mat.
Go back to the sparring. That was much more fun than this. I'm not having fun right now.
Yes. But that is a venin down.
Turning at blue. Turning an ashen gray before she falls from Tarn's back. Ashen gray. That's unfortunate. I like that she
Darn.
reaches out not just to like Tarn or Zayden, but like she throws it out to everyone. She's dead. Tarn, Zayden, and Darna, and even Sigale, like telling anyone who might
Yep.
be listening within the bond. And I think that's good that she's, I mean, truly, in all of these moments, to have that bond in a critical moment like this where you can't like walkie talkie or phone a friend,
Mm-hmm.
like cell phones before cell phones.
And we totally just like glazed over Violet getting stabbed by this bitch ass
Oh,
venin before she
I
kills
even have it
her.
marked. I have it marked. I don't know how we got past it.
I do too,
Mm-hmm.
but Violet gets stabbed by this venin with a poisoned dagger. And
Mm-hmm.
so after she has killed this venin, Tarn's like, "Oh, you're hurt," and she's like, "Ah, nah, 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 I'm fine." Well, bitch, we know you're
It's totally
lying.
fine. Mouth-watering nausea to balance the right balance the only venom blade I have left and yank hers out. But something isn't right. My wound begins to heal, and I immediately battle to keep my balance as acid runs through my veins. I'm sorry, what, bitch? What did you just
Mm-mm.
do to me? What did you just do to me? And then, of course, it's Poison Master Violet. Like, she's over here doing
Yeah.
this, and now she's not even really putting together the pieces of, oh, something was on that. Like, she notes that it's green, but it's still,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's like in a full battle, so it's kind of glazed over as far as like, oh, well, that, something obviously was on that, and this is going to be a really bad scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Takes out the venin, thank God, and Tarn goes right back to it. You're hurt. Yeah, I'm
That's where his
fine. We're
priorities
totally
lie.
fine. Yes. She's like, no, 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 no. But quickly enough, thank goodness, because of how they are all linked, Wyvern begin to fall from the sky. It's raining Wyvern. Bye, bitches.
N- Not hallelujah.
Not hallelujah. It's
No.
raining Wyvern.
I don't want to be
Hallelujah.
hit by that falling out of the sky.
Well, hopefully, in this instant, the civilians are in the tunnels. They are
In the
safe
cave.
in the cave. They are out of harm's way. And now these wyvern are just crumpling to the ground in heaps of dust and bones. That's what I'm picturing. Thunk, 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 thunk.
Riderless wyvern created by venin, and they all died because I killed one venin. Crisscross.
Just one. Just one.
Freaking
Crisscross.
freaking crisscross. The fact that it's, a dragon without its rider is a tragedy, a rider without its dragon is dead. Well, this is the opposite. It's literally the wyvern cannot survive without the venin because they created them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Liam tried to tell you, bitch.
You tried, but you weren't listening.
I can't.
I know. I like that she's getting it to Tarn, and he's just like, "Oh, yes, excellent idea,
Mm-hmm. What a dapper man.
excellent
But,
idea." With his
she
monocle.
asks, oh my gosh. And she asks him, like, you're willing to gamble your life on this? And he says, I will bet my life on you as I have from the first day. And you're like, oh, well, okay. I love
That's
that.
so great. That's so great. 3 of the venin are
But
dead, but one is. Mhm.
to the left.
To the left, to the left.
I
Everything
was
you
going to say,
own in a box to the left.
that venom bitch is over there on the left with the wyvern. That's his stuff. Yes, he created it. Please don't touch.
Ooh, good one.
I can't. I can't. I just how do we make jokes in such a stressful time?
Also, quickly, I don't know. Quickly noting that venin that was just to the left, Garrick leans from his seat and flings a dagger, but before it can reach the venin, the robed figure slams his staff onto the ground and disappears like he was never there in the first place. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how the fuck are you moving like that? And now how do I kill you?
Like you
What?
literally just teleported. You winnowed.
You winnowed
What?
straight out the way. He was to the left, now he's to the right. Jump back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. Oh my god.
Let's stop.
I
Backflip,
can't.
let's stop.
And now I'm just
The sage
picturing
is literally
this
like
evil sage with his staff out there doing the cha-cha slide. I
he like
can't.
teleports up onto this clock tower, puts his staff up, he goes, freeze! Everybody clap your
Everybody clap
hands.
your hands. Stop. Stop. This is exactly. Yeah. Why didn't she have that in here? That's totally what's happening here. I can clearly see it.
It literally is. And you know what?
Oh
After
my
the Cha Cha
gosh.
Slide, we're moving into Soldier Boy. So maybe even the Cupid Shuffle. Who knows?
Oh,
I just
that was just a
I
little bit
want to
of
know how
relief
he did
there.
it.
I want to know. I want
I
to
need
know.
to know. And Zayden is on the verge of a burnout because he is doing too much with his damn power.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we hear in Violet's head but sweet baby Adarna?
So much
So much
suffering.
suffering. Like,
She,
oh, and Darna, you're not supposed to be here.
the fact that she's reaching out from her little post, her little hiding spot, comes creeping out and she just says, "You need me." She says, "Please
Mm-hmm.
hide. One of us has to survive this. One of us has to survive this." As if her and Tarn aren't
Mm-hmm.
going to. Like, you have to because
Yeah.
we aren't going to. And oh my gosh. But knowing the new plan, this new plan that Violet has conjured up in her brain, if
Mm-hmm.
only to really save Zayden. Like, I think that's really what the like
Yeah.
she's kind of past surviving herself. I think at this point she's sees Zayden just really struggling and she's like, he has to quit what he's doing, otherwise he is gonna burn out. So she's like, new plan. I'm a genius.
Mm-hmm. Like, drop
We'll
the
get
shadows.
that.
Chill out for a
Drop those
second.
shadows. And then she uses his words right back on him. If you've ever trusted me, Zayden, I need you to do it now. uh, mm-hmm.
I just I just can't. I cannot.
Yep.
This is so terrifying. She's like, "Oh, Zayden, you saved us by holding them back this long." And she's like, "Yeah, I got this one. This is the more powerful one."
Mm-hmm.
At the corner of the flying horde is a seated venin, crimson veins streaking his temples and traveling down his cheeks.
Mm.
Like, just I can just
Creepy.
picture it. Ugh, terrifying.
Ooh, now I need to look up um makeup looks. Has anyone done Venom? There has to be out there. I need to find
It's so
those.
funny that you said that because that's literally what went in my head. I'm like, oh, special effects makeup, spooky
The
season.
special effects makeup. Yes. I'm like, Venom, this would be fun. I'm
I should do
not at
one.
all. Yes, you should, because that's not up my alley, but it is up yours.
I got this. I got this.
I, my Instagram lately has been like popping up more special effects makeup. I think that's why it's on my brain, but that's exactly when you said streaking down his cheeks. I'm like, special effects
Hmm.
makeup. Totally fun. Totally
I
fun.
should do that.
But these Venom are not fun. The makeup would be fun.
No.
Venom, no. Bad Venom.
I just, I love that Violet's like, okay, I have to use my power. This is
hmm
what I am here for. I need to be violence. I need to wield again, even though she can't aim.
no.
Like, girl, what are we
The battle
doing?
between her and Tarn really trying to keep her from doing it, reminding her
Yeah.
like you'll burn out, and she's just like, give me more, give me more, give me more. And like,
Mm-hmm.
as if she'll know when the burnout is coming. Like, that's how she's acting. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But then she also says, this is the only way I can save them. I can save Sigale. Like, okay, throw the maid in there. Like, that's going to help him.
Right.
You just have to decide to live, Tarn, even if I don't. And he does. He knows what's at stake because he's already been through this before with his previous writer,
Yeah.
going through the
I'm not
burnout. And he's like,
Naolan.
mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting that this is kind of their first interaction in a battle sense of that threat of burnout being so prevalent right away. Like, war
Yeah.
games, whatever, just for shits and gigs, really. But this being like, okay, real life battle here, and now
Mm-hmm.
you're potentially going to burn out already.
Yeah.
What? But then,
I mean,
sweet
she's,
baby Andarna.
yeah, let me help.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me so
Only
sad.
what I need.
And like, and Darna, this almost killed you the other two times we've done
Yeah.
this. So it just makes me so sad. But the fact that Andarna's like, we need to do this. So once again, Andarna stops time. I just, okay, Violet is pushing her barrier. She's screaming for Tarn to give her more power. That she literally cannot hold on any longer. And Andarna can't hold on any longer. But just the description. Finally dragging the lightning down into place as my skin sizzles and burns, I release time and hold myself upright long enough to see it strike true, killing the venin at the first touch of its energy. But it's how she is slow mo, just like, I am pulling it. I am commanding this one
Mm-hmm.
strike right here.
Right on top of him. I like how it's noted because of the nature of Violet. I'm focused on vengeance with a coldness that would make even my mother proud. And that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what she's doing. Like, forgetting any kind of nicety that she might have once had, as she's just
Yeah.
completely lethal, destroying anything she can touch right now. Well, strike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as time resumes, we've got another venin and wyvern and Zayden. A rope of
And
shadows
Zayden.
fly up, wrapping around the venin's neck as Tarn banks left to avoid the hit. I barely manage to keep my seat. Zayden pulls the venin from the wyvern's back and yanks him downward right onto the dagger he holds in his outstretched hand. Sometimes I forget how beautifully
Woo!
lethal he is.
Woo! Don't we all? But that was a great reminder.
Literally.
uh, uh, I
I
can't.
just,
I can't because then, I mean, just like instantly you go from such sweet satisfaction to the breath of relief that she feels to then free falling from Tarn's back because
mm-hmm.
let us not forget she was stabbed with a poison dagger. Down she falls. Violet, I hear Zayden scream as I fall. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Literally, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Chapter 38. Let's go.
What's our summary?
With the battle behind them, the trouble is still prevalent. Violet struggles to hang on from the poison of the venin gave her. Zayden struggles as he comes to terms with having to take her to the one person he knows can without a doubt save her. The decision is easy, and off they go. Da 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 da. I don't know what kind of noise goes here because it's like eerie but hopeful and
Mm-hmm. Violet's just not okay. She's falling. She's gonna die. And Darna swoops on in just to like soften the blow of the land because she can't carry Violet. She can't fly. They
Oh
just
god, no. Mm-hmm. I like that it's
I
noted
just the
too. She doesn't, she's, going in and out of it right now. She's been poisoned. She's
mm-hmm.
fully almost like relinquished her life through all of the power she just took from Tarn. So she's now, it says, shimmering gold rises and ebbs around me. Like, not sure what this happy little bubble is, but coming to realization that, yeah, and Darna
Mm-hmm.
has stopped time and she is now barely holding me afloat. Like, oh my gosh. Sweet baby
Yeah.
Andarna.
We're both on the verge of a burnout. I was stabbed with a poison dagger, but here she is saving me anyway.
Mm-hmm. Like, you're not even supposed to be here. Go back to your post where you were safe, tucked away. Your golden, shimmering scales are way too. Like, these wyvern will chomp you in half. Go home. Go back to the Vale.
At least the wyvern are gone, but the poison is not.
The poison,
And
the
Xaden is just
green
begging
tipped
her
dagger.
to
Oh my god.
live. Just live. Please live. Of course he wants me to live. I'm an integral to his survival. Like, really? That's still what you're fucking on? That's why he's
Well,
begging you to live.
maybe.
You don't
It
see
takes all
that?
my
Like,
strength, but I manage to lift my eyelids for a second, and the blatant fear in his eyes jolts my heart. I think she sees it, but she's also now delirious, so she's like, mm.
yeah. We have our page break, and there's Garrick, someone else, and Bodhi, and they're conversing, and Garrick's like, well, maybe it's not poison, maybe it's magic, and whoever this unknown person is, did you see the way she whipped that lightning straight to the Venin's head? And Bodhi's just like, really? This is the time you bring this up? No. She saved your fucking life. She saved all our lives. Like, this man who was ready to jump into battle to defend these civilians, this man is now defending her like she saved us. Shut the fuck up.
Literally.
Respect.
Has to be. Her blood
Major
is
respect for
fucking
him.
black. Literally, the poison, like, whatever is happening right now, how do you come back from that if your blood is turning black?
Mm-hmm. Well, even Imogen's freaking out.
Ooh.
Like,
Oh,
Imogen,
yeah.
the unmovable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's.
Nolan
Like, the
might be
fact
able to
that they're
help.
like, no, yeah, we have to get her back to Nolan, but that's so far away. She would literally die. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh. Yeah, she says, I'll be dead in 12 hours. The promise of sweet oblivion already hovers at the edge of my consciousness, a promise of peace if I agree to just let go.
The decision that Xaden makes here,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what he's about to do and how, I mean, she's already pissed at him at this point
Yeah.
because of the secrets he's already kept from her. So now knowing what he's about to do, but in this moment it's because it's her life.
Yeah.
So he's making this decision to take her somewhere closer to someone different. And I
Mm-hmm.
literally, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
And I get Garrick's concern. He's like, you'll put everything at risk. This is all we've worked
Mm.
for. But, Zane's like, I don't give a fuck. We are saving her. And even Bodhi chimes in again. And he says, no need for orders, man. We'll save her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my heart. I just love him for, like, really being that, like, backbone to Xaden right now.
I think Xaden in this moment too, like, really shows his softer side. And
Mm-hmm.
again, like, the nickname of violence, that's endearment for him. So he says, live up to your nickname and fight this violence. But it's in a whisper just to her in her ear. And it's like, yep, like, fly faster, get there
Yeah.
faster.
Well,
Also,
the fact
just
that she wakes
going,
up.
yeah, going in and out of this consciousness that she's in would just be terrifying.
Yeah, you're hearing just little bits and pieces. You're in
Mm-hmm.
pain. You can't even tell anybody. You feel like you're dying. And then she wakes up and, well, she's not Basgiath. And
Nope.
she's just like, this is familiar, but why the fuck is this familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of noting things, but she's too delirious from this poison to even think.
She
It's
knows
just
exactly
this.
these places too, of noting where the rebellion was, the cliffs,
Mm-hmm.
unmistakable. And yet she's still just in the back of her mind thinking, like, how, of all people, was I the one that was poisoned when that was literally my secret weapon all through the beginning
Yeah.
of school? How did I become this person? And to have an antidote or not even know what an antidote might possibly be for this because they don't even know what it is. Like her blood is black,
Yeah.
black. I don't know the stress I had feeling this, reading
Mm-hmm.
this of okay, I know she's the main character and all, but like who saves her? Who saves her? And boy does it get juicy.
With them bringing her here to this mystery person right now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's still a little bit of questioning, like, are you sure about this? But again, Garrick now and Bodhi are both, stop fucking asking him this. He made his decision, support him or get the fuck out, Imogen. And
Mm-hmm.
then Bodhi comes back with, when you have 107 scars on your back, get to make then you get to making these decisions. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we needed that support. We need that extra support so Xaden doesn't feel so alone here and making
Mm-hmm.
this decision to give out this huge secret to someone who is so pissed at him that could just like blow the whole operation and get them all killed.
I like how Tarn is sticking his 2 cents in here too. So he roars, and Garrick asks, "Well, what was that?" And Satan says, "He
Mm-hmm.
basically said that he'll cook me alive if I fail." And I think, yeah, truly, like, yeah, figure it out. Like, we gotta get. We're This is the plan. So either get on board or get the fuck out. Like, I don't need you questioning what we're doing right now. At this point, it's all in. The fact that she's still in and out of consciousness, wanting to live at the expense of Xaden, but going back and
Mm-hmm.
forth of gods, I wish he would just let me die.
Yeah.
Struggling to pump the liquid fire that's cauterizing my veins. Like, ugh. Just get me out of this body. That's half like, and then to be knowing Liam and Day lost their lives and how guilty she's
Yeah.
feeling of, well, why was it him and not me? This is all Dane's fault. And also, can I just trade places? Which is
Yeah.
horrible.
Xaden says, you have to fight, Vi. You can hate me all you want when you wake up. You can scream, hit, throw your fucking daggers at me for all I care. But you have to live. You can't make me fall for you and then die. None of this is worth it without you. Like, okay. Yes, actually, though. Thank you.
Xaden, a familiar voice calls out, but I can't place it. Bodhi, maybe? One of the second years, so many strangers and no friends. Liam is dead. You have to save her. A familiar voice. Why? Chapter 39.
What's our summary?
Violet is taken to Horatia for treatment, and Xaden anxiously awaits for her to wake up. His heartbreak is palpable as he ponders why he never told her all the things he wanted to prior to now. He tries to pinpoint the moment he felt for her. Was it the moment they first kissed? Was it when he saw Oren's hands around her neck? Or when she threw the daggers at Jack fucking Barlow? All these little moments led to his love, and now the fear of losing her hangs over him. When she wakes, however, all is right in the world, if only for a moment. When she realizes she is in Horatia, the disconnect creeps back in, and she is quick to shut him out. After some time to settle, Xaden and Violet opt to never keep secrets again. And this time, Xaden is telling her the whole truth. And
The
now
excerpt.
it's Xaden's POV. Oh.
The excerpt here. You're all
Mm-hmm.
cowards. Last words of Fen Ryerson. but they've been redacted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fen Ryerson died for the cause, and he called them out right before execution. What a power move.
Mm-hmm. That's a bold
I love
statement,
that.
Cotton.
And honestly, I like that Segale is trying to soothe Zayden. She's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we realize again, it's reiterated that he's the grandson of her second rider, the one who
Mm-hmm.
didn't make it through the quadrant. I'm like, whoa, wait, hold the phone.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean didn't make it through the quadrant?
Mm-hmm.
I want
Mm-hmm.
to know all the things, but
Can we go through this?
Zayden's just by her bedside, isn't leaving her, as he should. But just,
Rebecca's writing
that would be so
just still.
stressful.
Oh yeah, it would. Just casually waiting, anticipating.
What were you saying about her writing?
Her writing just gets me every time because she just picks the right words. And so I liked this little
Mm-hmm.
bit. It says, she's never looked fragile to me, but she does now, lying in the middle of my bed, her lips pale and chapped, the ends of her hair duller than their usual blade like hue. Like,
Mm-hmm. What a fantastic description.
and also the fact that we're Zayden's over here thinking of her hair in relation to daggers.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yep.
It checks out.
But I like it. I just like that little bit. I'm like, oh, yeah. Thank you, Rebecca, for your beautiful writing.
And he's just feeling so guilty. He's like, this was a punishment from Colonel Ados. She doesn't deserve this. This is a crime she didn't even know I was committing. She didn't even suspect it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Liam should be alive. She shouldn't be suffering. And just, the guilt that would weigh on him if they would have left to go to the outpost and fight in war games would just be as
Mm-hmm.
bad.
But to have
Just, yeah.
Tarn come in as he's,
Mm-hmm.
riddled with this guilt, and Tarn comes in and says, you should have told her about the venin. I waited for you to impart the information, and now she's suffering. And to kind of place blame and also like kick a man while he's down, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
He has a point, and,
He does.
could the outcome maybe have been different had she known, had she been able to properly prepare? Possibly. But there were a lot of wyvern, and they didn't truly know how to defeat the venin or the wyvern
Yeah.
up until those moments. So Tarn's just kind of really being a douche. He's really just
Yeah,
kicking
but
him while
he's
he's down, but
he's
also pointing out
angry
the
in his
fact that
grief, so I
he's
understand.
yeah, they're all struggling, but knowing the bond is still in place means that Violet is still alive. So he's holding on to that
Right.
little hope of, okay, her chest is moving up and down. Tarn is still able to communicate. There is still a flicker of hope here. And that's just literally all we're holding on to in these pages is just like, you just wake up now, just like a little, your nappy's over, open your eyes.
Mm-hmm. And Zayden's just
Mm.
like, she can't die because I know I can't live without her.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know you said it in our summary, but he just gives us this beautiful list as to like all the things and all the moments. And he ends it with, I fucking fell. And I just love like the he fell first. And
Yep. Well, of
it's
course he
so
did.
amazing. And I love it so much.
I love getting Zayden's POV and getting the softer side of him when we don't see it
Mm-hmm.
as often. So getting just these little bits and pieces of in his mind, but then also to her waking up and
Yeah.
just where the fuck are we?
yeah, she's confused at first. She's like, "Oh, no, like things are fine." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, like this is a miracle. She might actually not be
You're
mad." Haha.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nope. I'm fine,
His just
Zayden.
he's over apologizing. He's, "Let me check you out." He's like, "Please, I'm gonna make it up to you." She's like, "Make what up to me?" And then that's when it hits her. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this is what happened."
Mm-hmm.
And Darna
Where
almost
are
died.
we? What
Liam and Day died.
happened?
So Leal and Fuel died.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
not cool.
Mm. Again, Zayden out here omitting information that should definitely be shared. Don't panic. Everything is fine. And Darna isn't quite the same, but she's her. She's fucking huge now, but I'm not going to say that to Violet. Her gift is also gone, according to Tarn, but there's plenty of time to share the news. Instead, I say, the healer told me he isn't sure what lasting effects the poison might have. The healer, again, we're just out here omitting
The
information.
healer.
The healer.
Well, I don't
Uh,
think in that exact moment, just because he knows the truth is about to be revealed, so I don't think it's fair for him to say Brennan said, because she'd be like, "What the fuck are
right.
you talking about?" Like,
What do you
at
mean?
this rate, we just have to
You're
let it
psycho.
unfold. Yeah,
Yes. And also, everyone called your dad crazy. You are crazy. Just how that
literally.
would play out. Like, oh my God, you are all psycho. You really do think these weird things. But
Yeah.
now she's knowing, well, and Andarna, sweet, sweet baby Andarna, that would be so much having just woken up to wake up and be like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, by the way, your dragon is now a monster dragon. And, well, not monster, not compared to Tarn, but
Hmm.
you did her number on her and sped her right up.
Yeah. So I understand the omitting of information at this
Oh,
point,
I do
but yeah,
too. I just think it's
it's
funny. He's
still.
like, we're going to be so much better. Lies.
But she has realized that she is in Eurasia, a city
Mm-hmm.
that she was told was burned to the ground. And she's like, "How the fuck are we in
Mm-hmm.
Eurasia, Zayden?"
Yep.
I just,
Rebuilt
she's
or
like, "This is
never
Eurasia."
burned.
And I love that she's like, "There's only one temple with those particular columns. I've seen it in drawings." He's like, "Yes,
Mm-hmm.
brilliant fucking woman." And he's just like, he's dancing lightly on the topic, but mentally he's like, "This is my woman. Yes, go off."
You are a genius. This is why we love you. So proud of you. Yep.
But it's heartbreaking as they start to kind of recall the events and she's understanding the
Rehash.
truth of Aracia. But she goes, "Is Liam really dead?"
Mm.
He has no words. So I take from my pocket the palm-size, freshly finished carving of Andarna Liam had been working on. So not only she has one of both of her dragons, but like that is just awful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Then
sad.
the battle of, I know, the battle of, she's feeling guilty, but he's feeling guilty because he should have been honest. And Tarn, reminded him of that moments ago. But if I would have told you everything sooner, you would have been prepared. You probably would have schooled us all on how to kill them. I know I should have, but I couldn't bear to burn it. We laid him to rest yesterday. Well, the others did. I haven't left this room since we got here. I haven't left you. And, it wouldn't be Violet and Zayden without some sarcasm. So, of course, like, bitch, only because you need me
Yeah.
to stay alive so you can stay alive. Like, no, 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 no. Let him love you.
She asked for some space just to get herself together. She's been out for how long, and she kicks him out. And we talked about this in part one, where she says,
Mm-hmm.
"Now, Ryerson," where she's not referring to him as Zayden.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I like that he's like, well, maybe it's because she doesn't like to remember that I'm Fen Ryerson's son and all my father cost her. I'm like, that's a really good point. Not just like
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it because I'm mad at you, but like he makes a good point as to why she's probably never used that because she's always
Mm-hmm.
associated
Made the
Fen Ryerson with
association.
her brother's
Mm-hmm.
death.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which
she's
I
okay. She's going to take a bath and she's going to be okay.
she's gonna clean that up, and she's gonna feel better.
And then we'll chat.
We sure will.
But even Bodhi's like so relieved that she's up, and they're all just like, here's what we've learned, but we are so, so thankful that she's alive. We're going to go tell the others. And also, you smell like dragon ass, so go take a bath.
You really stink. You really stink. I think that when they're going back and forth too about whether or not she can handle the information that is about to come out is really
Mm-hmm.
interesting
Yeah,
because teaching her how to hide it from Ados.
that's going to be a big deal for the next book.
How does one manage? But and it's interesting that they're
Yeah.
having this conversation like directly outside of her room, but he trusts her.
Yeah.
So moving forward, he trusts her.
Well, they have their conversation. They, she's he has to ensure that she's in, that she's not going to rat them out, and she's in.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what's the greater good here,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to tell her everything that he possibly can at this point in time. But he knows that that trust is gone, and she is like, absolutely the fuck not. Like, step aside, Zayden.
Yeah. My heart is a different story. I will help you in this fight, but that's a different story.
Mm-hmm. It's just like it's a painful back and forth, but I get it. She is so betrayed. And really, like, she needs to protect herself at this rate. And Zayden knows that if he actually tells her that he loves her finally, he's using it at the wrong time because it really does need to be like in a moment of sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
But we do get one of the another notable Zayden quote. He
Mm-hmm.
says, I'm not afraid of hard work, especially not when I know just how sweet the rewards are. I would rather lose this entire war than live without you, and if that means I have to prove myself over and over, then I'll do it. You gave me your heart, and I'm keeping it.
Screams.
I know, and all this time, he's been having knocks at the door. He's like, oh, fuck, he's so impatient. As he
He's so
should be.
impatient. Yeah. Like,
Like,
wouldn't you be excited? Long lost sister that thinks you're dead.
told you I knew a better poison master. You weren't healed. You were mended. And then please, Callie, tell me. Brennan just grins and opens his arms.
Welcome to the revolution, Violet. Dun, dun, dun! I'm sorry.
Gently
What?
throws book across the room.
Gently sets it down with glee because we finished fourth way.
We did.
Oh my gosh.
And what a and like I'm so glad we have Iron Flame because finishing that book was so hard, not knowing that we could keep going on.
Yeah, and we'll basically get through Iron Flame and then hop right on over into January and be like, boom, boom, bang, Onyx Storm.
Yeah, we probably
Oh
won't be starting
God.
Iron Flame until like November, but we got some time.
Holidays. We want to get this out before the holiday, don't we? Well, I don't know. We'll look at the schedule.
It just
Figure it out.
depends on how we're releasing it close to Onyx
Yeah.
Storm release date. But yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have a couple fun
But
things
that is
planned in there. But that was, yeah.
that's the end of
I
our
can't believe we
fourth
did
wing
it.
segment. And Callie, I've had the
Oh
time
my
of my
gosh.
life.
Fighting dragons with you.
That was I'm so proud of us. This was amazing. And I feel like we really experienced Fourth Wing on a whole different level.
It was definitely, well, the text from our first reads through were, like,
Very
to
different.
say the least, comical, and just those WTF moments that everyone probably had
Yeah,
reading it. But, and if, are you really besties if you're not like texting your best friend about the books that you're reading? No. But
truly.
man, that was fun. That was fun. And I do, yeah, I love reading for enjoyment, but like going back through, and then now I'm like 10 times more excited to even read Iron Flame, knowing that
Yeah.
there's just so many more good theories and things to come. I am not ready for the heartbreak that I will feel again at the end of that book. And I am
No.
not ready for the whirlwind of Onyx Storm that I know is coming. She has been so
Yeah.
ruthless. Okay, little Segale on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
of posting her writing vibes, the sneak previews of,
Ugh.
like, Rebecca, no.
Why are you doing this to me?
I mean, do it and do it good because I am ready to be just emotionally destroyed. That's what I read for. It's just so fun to devastate my heart over and over and over again. That's why I clearly read Fourth Wing again.
It's that good. We love it so
It's
much.
that good. It was great.
But I mean,
That is all.
we had a blast doing this, and thank you so much for sticking through so many ups and downs of posting and through 9 episodes of this.
Yes.
We really appreciate all our active listeners and anyone who gets to this eventually. Seriously, we love you all, and
Yes.
please leave us a review, subscribe, follow, help keep making our dreams come true.
Yes. So we've had the time of our life doing this with you.
We
It's
did.
been so fun. We did. It was so much fun. And yeah, thank you to all of our listeners and anyone that is engaging with us in any social media. We love chatting about any books, but especially Fourth Wing and now coming into Iron Flame. If you have theories or, you know, Violet Second Signet theories, anything that you want to add to the conversation, please send those to us and we will add them into the episodes as we work our way through the next book.
Yep.
Yay!
Well, with that being said, thank you guys again, and we'll see you in the next one.